Hi guys, welcome back to Dice Down Gaming. Today's on Warmachine MK4 unit movement, and I'm going to break down how it works for you. First of all, thank you to anyone who subscribed to my channel. I'm massively grateful for your support. My next target is 250, so if you do like the content, please do click subscribe. I'd be most grateful. Secondly, this is a bit more of an informative video, and if you like this sort of format or got any feedback from me or any questions on the topic, please drop a comment. And if you do like the content, please do like the video. On top of that, I've entered Chris from Monstrous Marketing's affiliate program. I've got a link in the description of the video and a link on my channel. If you click that and purchase something from the website, this helps me out a small bit. And any funds from that, I'm going to put towards getting new equipment for my channel. I'm still using my old webcam from when I was about 16. With that out of the way, let's get into the content of the video. We're going to break down how you move a unit in Warmachine Mark IV. When you move in Warmachine, you've got 5 options. You can forfeit your new movement and go straight to your combat action. You can aim, in which your normal movement ends and you gain +2 to your rat. You can full advance, you can run, or you can charge. Those 3 options are what I'm going to try and focus on today. I'm going to really briefly touch on how you used to move models in Warmachine. You hear the term coherency a lot within war games, and you might think if you never played any other version of Mark IV, people are referring to sort of Age of Sigmar or 40k like coherency. Well, in the previous editions, what you used to you have a leader model in your unit. That leader model had a command range. Your unit had to operate within that command range, and that would be often be referred to as coherency in old previous editions of Warmachine. So if people sort of used to play and are now playing Mark IV and say, oh, see, there's not coherency anymore, what they're probably referring to is the command range that your unit used to have to operate within. That's gone now, so let's focus on how you do it now. Let's first focus on normal unit movement, which we're going to go for a full advance and a run. What you do when you full advance or run is you pick one model in a unit to physically move. In this case, we're going to move model M. We move him up to his speed in inches in the case of a full advance. And if you run, you get +5 to that value. So we're going to pick model M. We're going to do a full advance and we're going to move him his speed in inches up. Once we've done that, we're going to pick each other model in that unit and place it within 2 inches of the model we just moved. That's the same in the case of a full advance or a run. A run has a few extra stipulations, but I'm just focused on the physical movement of your models today. So that's nice and simple. When nothing's engaged, you pick one model, you move it at speed, either as it is or +5 in the case of a run. Then you place all the models in the unit within 2 inches of the model you just moved. Simples. Now it might get a bit more complicated in a scenario like this. You've got the red unit and our unit, which is in blue. Forgive me that all the circles are not the same shape. I tried my best. I might have a degree in MS Paint by the time I finish all my videos. So the unit in red is engaging 2 of our models, the darker blue ones. So you might want to do 2 things here. You might want to move your unit further into combat to try and get more models in melee range, or you might want to disengage this unit to maybe shoot it with another unit. In the case of option 1, what you could do is you can move model M here around the side, and then once we've moved him, we could place these models within 2 inches of him, and we've got more models in combat here, and we haven't disengaged any of their models here. In option 2, you might actually want to move out of combat, so you can shoot that with another unit. In this case, we can move model M here, and we're going to then place the unit like this, and as you can see, the 2 dark blue ones have now been placed out of the melee ranges of the models they were engaged by. In this case, you're going to have to forfeit your combat action on these 2 models because you've disengaged the models that were engaging them. So that's a good example. If you start engaged, you can either try and go deeper or you can disengage. But if you do disengage, you give up combat action. Quickly going to touch on reposition because this one I think that it can catch some people out, especially if you're used to having to stay within a certain range of models in a unit, which is very common in war games. So in this case, we've got model M. He's going to be our moving model, and we've got the rest of the unit, which are numbered. We're going to move this unit, their full advance, so say they move 5 inches. They're all placed within 2 inches of model M, and now the unit's going to reposition. So say the unit has reposition 3, each model now can move 3 inches any direction they like. So our unit has actually ended its activation looking like this. Now what this can do, first of all, it might seem a bit odd that they don't have to be in a certain range of each other. There's no restriction on where the unit is in relation to each other, post moving it and placing it within two as part of a full advance run or a charge. And what this does allow you is when you move a unit, you've only got to pick one model to move and then place the rest in range. So I could decide to say move model 2, go this way, or I can move model, say, 3 and go this way, and then place the rest within 2. And that really opens your angles of attack and gives you lots of sort of threat vectors and ways you could come from at different angles. It may feel a bit foreign to people that you can sort of be this far apart and be in a unit. But reposition is a really powerful tool to have lots of angles you can attack from with one unit. Next up, charging. Charging is very similar to moving with a few other stipulations. First of all, we're going to pick one model in the unit. We're going to pick M, and we're going to move his speed plus 3. So in this case, we're going to say this distance here, not to scale, is going to be, say, 7 inches. So we're going to move model M, and we're going to place model M in the middle here. And then we're going to place each other model in the unit within 2 inches of the model we moved. Now, because model M moved further than 3 inches, we're now going to get, that becomes a charge attack. So all these damage rolls are now going to be boosted because the initial model moved 3 inches, and we've placed the models in a unit engaging a model that the charge model engaged. Excellent. So with that in mind, could you have your charging model engage 2 units and get charge attacks on both? Yes. The wording is that the troopers in the unit get a charge attack roll if they're placed in the melee range of any model the actual charging model engaged. So in this case, this is our charging model. It's engaged both models slash units. So it's model slash unit. So this, by engaging these two, it's engaged the whole unit and vice versa. So these guys here are going to get a charge attack on this unit and these two on this unit because this model here engaged both units with its charge move. So I hope that somewhat clears up how you charge. The most complicated situation is if you've got a unit that is partially engaged, partially not, and now you still want to charge. Can you do that? The answer is yes, but to get a charge attack and a boosted damage roll, you have to move more than 3 inches. So in this case, we're going to say model M is more than 3 inches away from this model here. We're going to give the unit for their normal movement a charge. We're going to move model M up here, so it ends here, and that's now going to have moved more than 3 inches. Now, it's a successful charge because he moved more than 3. So that means every model now placed engaging a model that your charging model engaged gets a charge attack. Pardon me. So 2, 3, and 4, who are going to be placed here, here, and here, and we're going to say this is within 2 of M. Now all are going to get charge attacks because the charging model moved more than 3, and the trooper models were placed engaging the unit that the charging model engaged. So even though you are engaged, if you can still get charges. If your whole unit is engaged, you can't charge while you're engaged. But if you've got one model or two models in the unit that are further than 3, you might still be able to get a few charge attacks. The stipulation here is that if a unit does charge and then a model is placed in a melee range of a model it was already in, so for example 5 is going to be placed in the same melee range of this red model, it's not going to be a charge attack because he was placed in this melee range and was previously in it before being placed. In this case, 4, 3, and 2 are all going to get charge attacks because the charging model moved more than 3 inches. I've tried not to overcomplicate things today, and I think they've gone for a really abstract way of unit movement. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think give it a try. I really enjoy it now. I've played it a few times, and I think it allows for smaller units, which allow you to be a bit more spread out and a bit more dynamic scenarios. I'd love to hear your feedback on how you like unit movement. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Did I make any sense today? Was it useless? All of that I'd love to hear in the comment section. Thank you so much for tuning back in today, and I'll catch you on the next one very soon.